All right, Nick, let's talk about the Miami Hurricanes. This is a team that I think is on the rise in the ACC. They're trying to get back to where they once were, and I think they're making moves today to show they are on the right path. This is going to be a big one for Miami, especially the implications of how they got there.
Yeah, Miles, I could not agree more. Look, you know how you know it's big news? It's the fact that we're bringing this to you. I'm in a hotel room right now, as you guys can see, just a few hours away from my brother-in-law's wedding. But we're taking the time to put out this content because we really think this could be the first move, the first domino to fall in a big surge for Miami going forward. So exciting news that Miles dug up there. But before we get into the report, Hurricanes fans, look, regular season is right upon us, only a few short weeks away. Give us the game you're looking forward to more than any other, the one matchup you're really excited for this season, and make sure you put it in the comment section below. Brian, Miles, I'll throw it over to you now. What's the latest out of Miami?
Yeah, Nick. So Miami had some huge news here recently that they were able to flip a Michigan recruit, which is huge, a team that was in the college football playoff last year. Elias Rudolph, a guy that was committed to Michigan, has now changed allegiance and he's coming down to the University of Miami. Let's get into the tweet and then we will talk about the greater implications. It says 4-star edge Elias Rudolph of Deerfield Beach, Florida, Deerfield High, flipped his commitment from Michigan to Miami Saturday afternoon. The 6'4", 215-pounder has been committed to the Wolverines since July. The Sunshine State edge joins coach Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes' top 20 class in 2024 team rankings. He's accompanied by 4-star receiver Joshua Trader, 4-star edge Marquise Lightfoot, and others. Rudolph ranks as the number 303 player in the On3 industry ranking. He also taps in as the number 25 edge and the number 42 player in the state of Florida. And I think none of those are numbers to scoff at because the state of Florida is extremely, extremely competitive in the recruiting market. A lot of players there. So if you're in the top 50 in Florida, that's probably a pretty good sign of your talent level. But Nick, I want to say that this is a really big move for Miami going forward. To get a guy away from Michigan, that is impressive. But to keep building, winning your home state, getting guys to want to leave from these national contenders, coming back to Miami, I think there's something building, something special going on with this program, getting them there. And I think this could be huge going forward. What do you think about this move and how do you think it affects Miami going forward?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. There's a lot of players, a lot of these young prospects in the state of Florida that grew up or at least heard stories growing up about the U and the greatness of Miami. But obviously going 5-7, I believe, last season, having the troubles Miami has had over the last decade or so, it's not as much a desirable location in terms of how they feel as maybe some other schools in terms of just winning, right? They see Michigan, going to the college football playoff. They see Ohio State. They see USC. They see Texas, whatever it may be, and they may be more tempted to commit to those programs. But if Miami, and it looks like they're doing this under Cristobal and his recruiting staff, can get these young guys that are in their backyard to sit there and say, hey, we're building something special. Stay with us. We're rebuilding the U here. We're going to get it right. If they can do that, they will quickly jump to the top of the ACC and quickly become a top contender again. And you're starting to see that. If you look at the 24/7 Sports recruiting rankings for the 2024 class in the ACC, you have Florida State number 1, Clemson number 2. They're very tightly close together. But then you have Miami at number 3, and the distance between Miami and number 4, University of North Carolina, no slouch, is 22 points. That is a massive jump. And after North Carolina, it's basically everyone's clumped together around that mark. So right now you've got Miami under Cristobal and his recruiting staff have elevated themselves from the pack in terms of recruiting to where they're now solidly third behind Clemson and Florida State, who are really tightly wound. If Miami can keep getting guys who committed to the out-of-state programs to return to you, and we talk about it's a flywheel effect, right? You start getting 1 or 2 of these guys, more will follow. If they can move up to the top of those rankings with FSU, with Clemson, they will very quickly return to being a national power.
Yeah, Nick, and I want to talk for a second about one of Miami's secret weapons, especially at recruiting the defensive line position. I think this guy is under the radar. It's probably his first year in the recruiting game in the college level, but this guy is going to just watch out, Nick. We're talking about none other than former NFL player, former Miami Dolphin, Jason Taylor. This is a guy who played in Miami for the Dolphins for around 12 years, Walter Payton Man of the Year winner, 3-time All-Pro player, 6-time Pro Bowler, forced fumble leader, sack leader. This guy is as good as it gets when it comes to edge players in the NFL. So then he took his coaching efforts to the state of Florida again, being there for so long. He coached St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Everyone in the state of Florida knows where that is, as a defensive line coach for a number of years. Came to Miami as an analyst in 2022 and now is the defensive end coach. And this is the guy who came in here and was able to flip a guy like Rudolph. He also acquired Marquise Lightfoot, another high-end defensive end recruit. I think this guy is coming out swinging only in his first season as a coach, as a recruiter. He's able to get 2 big 4-star recruits for Miami. I think going forward, this could be huge for the program.